Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Monday live stream. And I have to tell you, I don't feel really bullish too often, but today I'm feeling pretty good. So I have to also say congratulations to the ones that bought that dip. I think things are looking pretty decent in the market today. Looks like we're back to 3.8 trillion, almost 3.9 trillion. We'll go over 4 trillion. We'll go with choppy. But over the last 24 hours, Bitcoin, I think it almost hit 116K at one point. Ethereum is up 6% in 24 hours. XRP, BNB, I mean, you name it, pretty much everything's up. It's looking pretty good. Now over the 7-day, not so great, but 30-day, things are moving in the right direction. And after you go through today, I'm going to tell you, I don't like doing these videos when they're this positive, but it is what it is. So this is what's going on. So over the weekend, we had a new round of China banning Bitcoin nonsense, which came from somewhere, somebody, a guy who knows a guy, and it's all just ridiculousness. And there was really not too much have said that I have seen. And if you peel back the layers, you get stuff like this. Hashkey CEO, China will re-engage with crypto, starting with, surprise, surprise, stable coins and real world assets. And this is going to play into a bigger story with the CFTC, SEC, and the IPOs that are coming up, which I think are going to be massive for the crypto space and also, enormous for the people that are getting into digital assets. This is what we have in this one. Dr. Zhao Feng nailed it, of Hashkey Group, often dubbed as the father of China's blockchain, warns that cryptocurrency hype far exceeds regulatory reality in Asia's emerging markets. And again, if we can just get a little bit of stability and a little bit of regulation to what is this? What can we do with this? What is a currency? What is a security? What is a commodity? I think we can do a lot of things, and that's globally, not just here in the US. Thankfully, there's an administration that actually wants to push forward and not do Operation Choke Point 3.0. So I'm very happy with that. But Dr. Zhao noted that there is a fever around stable coins in Hong Kong. I'm not from Hong Kong. Don't know if you didn't know that. And when I see these types of stories, this is good because I don't have those types of contacts to see what's going on outside of the United States. He states mainland China is beginning to re-engage with the crypto world. This process would start with stablecoins. Presence of global monetary competition are driving the shift. Zhao predicts a clear path for adoption. After stablecoins, he said the focus would turn to real-world assets or RWAs. What would that be? That would be like things like stocks. That would be things like real estate, like land, stuff like that, or any other kind of assets that you can think of. They will tokenize those and put those on the chain. Why would they do that? It's because not everybody has access or is in a first-world country that they can actually do that. Or there is a little bit of unknown, a little bit of a miss as far as regulation in these different countries. So they have to do something like this to get these onto a market to where people can trade. Not that they have to, but it just opens up a whole area of liquidity. Eventually, this might even lead to accepting Bitcoin. I wouldn't hold my breath on that for China, but who knows? Lastly, he states we're moving from a digital native asset to digital twin assets. Digital twins. Next phase will be defined by real-world assets. Compliance is necessary to unlock a market potentially worth trillions of dollars. Hong Kong is uniquely positioned to become a global hub. And this is interesting. Hong Kong is uniquely positioned to become a global hub. It already is, as far as manufacturing, produce, and also finance. It's there. And of course, there's a common law system under the one country, two systems. Hong Kong is part of mainland China, but it's two systems working independently of each other, but it is one country like they state as far as mainland China and Hong Kong. Hong Kong's destiny is to be the Wall Street of Asia. Singapore, by contrast, acts as the Switzerland of Asia. Their financial strategies are completely different. The reason why I brought this to everybody's attention is because this is what the current administration is trying to fight against. They don't want to lose any footing, and they want to essentially have this as the golden era of crypto for the United States. And they're going to work pretty hard to make that happen. Why is that? Well, we have to look no further than the CFTC putting out a statement today, or actually, excuse me, August 1st. It states the CFTC is wasting no time in fulfilling President Trump's vision to make America the crypto capital of the world, said acting chairwoman, actually, I think that would be Chairman Pham. And this would be Caroline Pham right here. And looks like she's there between Hester Pierce and the acting SEC chair. And I think she's trying to work with them collectively. She states, we'll work closely with Paul Atkins, SEC Chair, and Commissioner Hester Pierce to achieve Project Crypto, providing regulatory clarity now and fostering innovation in digital asset markets. Will deliver on the administration's promise to usher in a golden age of crypto. And I talked about this a couple days ago, and I just said, this is what compliance and what regulation clarity is going to bring to us. You've got 3 people right there, CFTC and 2 on the SEC, and thank God Gary Gensler is gone. And they can actually move things forward. And if they want to make this the crypto golden age or capital of the world, what does that mean? Well, they want to get clarity. They want to get regulation. They want to get the bills passed, which is why they're working with Congress. But they also are going to, I believe, approve a lot of crypto IPOs. And with that, you're going to get companies like this. Blockchain-based lender files for a U.S. IPO. First of all, who are these guys? Lend or Figure Technology. I actually took a look at their website. They must have some type of geocaching turned on because I'm in Texas right now and this came up first. Texas homeowners unlock cash online with Figure's home equity line of credit. I'm not looking for a HELOC. But then when I did another search, they also have this come up, crypto-backed loans. Get cash using your Bitcoin or Ethereum as collateral. I will not be doing this. If you want to do that, have fun. I've already learned my lesson, and that's not a good thing. I just found this interesting that the interest rates are amazing. 8.9% interest rates, almost 10% APR. The lowest fixed interest rate, 50% LTV in the industry. What does that mean? It means that if you want to put up, say, like 100,000, they'll give you 200,000. Or excuse me, if you want to give up 100,000, they're going to give you 50,000. That's pretty much what it is. So they'll give you half whatever you put up for collateral. Not going to do that, but I find this fascinating that they are going to file for an IPO. So this is what we got. Figure Tech was, and this is the thing I wanted to bring up in the next article, but this is also here too. Remember how Jamie Dimon was always talking badly about crypto and digital assets, but sneakily he in the background would say, but I believe in blockchain. I believe in blockchain. Well, Figure was working with banks, including Goldman Sachs Group, JP Morgan Chase, Co. and Jefferies Financial Group in 2023 on an IPO for its lending arm. The firm has funded around $16 billion in home equity loans and partners with OpenAI, or ChatGPT, and Alphabet. That's interesting. So they've already got some pretty big backers, and they got JP Morgan Chase, which, of course, that's be Jamie Dimon in that group. So it looks like there actually are behind digital assets. Maybe Jamie can explain that. And then on top of this one, we've got this other exchange called Bullish, Peter Thiel backed. Bullish is also looking for an IPO. I think they're following in the footsteps of Coinbase. Bullish IPO debut. Peter Thiel backed crypto giant targets 4.2 valuations. And you're going to see more and more of these companies go for an IPO, and it's going to go into the consciousness of the collective of the people that are out there and going, what's going on with this, all this crypto? All these companies are coming in. It looks like maybe they are legitimate. Maybe things are good. Maybe I should invest into, because I can't invest into some of these companies as far as like pre-IPO. Maybe I should get into the other aspects of digital assets. Maybe Bitcoin, maybe Ethereum, maybe Solana, maybe Cardano, maybe fill in your favorite altcoin blank, whatever it is. But this is interesting. Bullish plans to raise up to $620 million through its U.S. IPO by offering approximately 20.3 million shares to the public, price between 28 and 31 per share. Now, when they say to the public, that doesn't mean us. That doesn't mean like the plebs. That's going to go to the accredited investors that can get in there pre-IPO. Now, when it actually comes out, then we can probably get it when it's publicly traded, but I don't think it's going to be given to us as far as if you're a non-accredited investor. The IPO, which will trade on the ticker BLSH, is being led by major investment banks. Oh, look at that. JP Morgan, Citigroup, and Jefferies. Man, for a guy that didn't like crypto too much, Jamie Dimon is everywhere. Good for him. Good lion guy. And then also Kraken looks to seek $500 million at a $15 billion valuation ahead of a rumored 2026 IPO. They're going to IPO. They're going to have their public offering, and it's going to be massive. It's going to probably beat Coinbase. I don't know if it can beat Circle, but it's going to be huge. The 500 million funding plan on Tuesday, setting people familiar with the matter, adding that Kraken was last valued at about 11 billion in 2022. That was the worst time for crypto. Now in 2025 and 2026, 15 billion is not outside the realm of possibility. So that's great. What does that mean for us? Not much. I hate to tell you. I hate to break this to you. This is good ancillary, I suppose. But as far as like, sorry about this. I'm slowing down a little bit because of the connection. Hold on real quick. Let me pause this. That's funny. Okay. Hopefully everybody can still hear me. But let me put this in. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Perfect. You can still hear me. So there's a little bit of a problem. I'll tell you why in a second. Anyhow, what does this mean for you as far as the non-accredited investor? Not too much. You really can't do too much in this situation. Usually when there's a IPO, they go for accredited investors, institutional investors. And unfortunately, unless you're accredited, you're not going to be able to get into this. This is good in the grand scheme of things for businesses and of course, giving some type of notoriety and having credence to the digital asset space. But as far as like us getting in on the pre-IPO, not too good. We'll probably have to wait to buy into it. However, if by chance you are an accredited investor, I would recommend that you check out Simon Dixon's website, Bank to the Future. And there's a link in the description, bnktothefuture.com. And Simon's been, if you don't know Simon Dixon, he's got a YouTube channel. He's been investing into Bitcoin like when it was pennies and got on early, real smart guy. And he also funds a lot of the big companies that have come through, little guys like, Coinbase and Tether, Robinhood, little places like that. And if you are, and I actually I sent him a message. I go, hey, Simon, can I get on this? And he says, I said, hey, how can I get involved with that? And how can I get my subscribers involved with that? Is there a way to do that with most of them just following me? And just to get your information, he says, we can only work with non-US high net worth individuals, unfortunately. Essentially saying, you're not one of those people, Rob, because you're stuck in the States. And I said, okay, what does that mean? Because I'm out because of the US part. He said, if you have 1 million of net worth after debt and are outside the United States, give me a call. So, or check out his website. So the website's here. You can go out here and just click in sign in or sign up. and they'll do the evaluation if that's what you want. I know many of you are not that way, but I just want to bring this to your attention in case one or two of you were, and you can probably get into it. And that's it for today. So look, sorry about the little glitch there. What happened is that it is 103 degrees here in El Paso, Texas. And this room that I'm in with this beautiful green screen, it's like 110, 115 in here or something like that. So sometimes my camera overheats, and that's it. I'll make sure that I have ice pack ready. But that's it for today. So look, if you like today's video, give it a thumbs up. Consider subscribing. We talk about it's time sensitive. Now we'll get into a little Q&A, and I'll answer all your questions. And here we go. Holy Macaroni says, I got to finish my bubble bath. I think the guy with the least worries at the end of the day is the winner. Let's see. Stump. Stump, that's a good question. Link to soured my taste for pre-IPO. What happened with them? Because that was one of those companies that I was going to try. And we actually talked to the CEO. How did that work out? Was it a disaster? They just overpriced, or what happened? LAX guy says, Jamie Dimon loves Bitcoin. I'll be surprised. They don't have AC in Texas. Stop being cheap. Now in this room, I just didn't want to run AC all the way here. Now I can get like, it doesn't bother me to be in like 110, 150. It just doesn't. I'm just one of those people. But it does bother my computer and my camera, apparently. So I just need to make sure that I have an ice pack ready. Too much hot stuff in the camera. Yeah. All right. John says, no questions, no comments, just sending good energy. I'll take it. H-bar, I own some of that. Hopefully it does well. I always like the like button, but never a blue wrench return. Ah, boss, that sounds awful. Boss, remind me tomorrow. I'll give you the wrench. You've been here for a long time. Yeah. Keithy, good morning from Australia. Starting my day with Dan. I'm late. Need to watch later. Yeah, I'll give you a recap real quick. It just comes down to China and Hong Kong are going to go real big into stable coins and real world assets. And they're going to pivot. And then because of that, America is going to try to fight them because they want to keep supremacy for crypto and digital assets. And the CFTC and the SEC is working together to do a sprint to get regulatory clarity, to bring everything as best they can and usher in a golden age of crypto. And then because of that, a bunch of companies are going to IPO and they're going to push them through. And it's not going to be like the Gary Gensler days. And in that situation, you're going to get, it's legitimized, I think, this space. People are going to remember, they're going to remember the FTXs, the Celsiuses, and the Voyagers. But they're going to come back and say, well, what about these other new ones? You know, what about these new companies that are all IPOing, and Circle and USDC? And looks like there's a stable coin coming out, and there's another exchange called Kraken, and Circle did amazingly well. So, maybe this is actually real businesses, and maybe the things that Elizabeth Warren was saying was incorrect. So something like that. That's pretty much what the video was about today. I should just do that. I'm curious why Bank to the Future won't work with Americans, because Simon hates America. That's why. I'm just kidding. Simon, it's because of regulatory clarity. They can't do it. They don't want to deal with it. I don't blame him either. I wrote him back. I'm like, come on, you can trust me. He's like, no, we can't do that. Rob, what do you think of Vesper Wallet versus Lace? I have Lace. I don't have Vesper Wallet. Hey, Matt, when SBF FTX movie? The real question is, who's going to play SBF? I would say Jack Black. That'd be a pretty good one. Why is staking still restricted in California? I'm sick of this state treating us like children. I can't wait to leave. I don't know. Thank you. You see the Brian Armstrong interview on Sean Ryan show? If so, what do you think of it? It was good. Sean Ryan shows always got great guests. Charles Hoskins was on like 3 weeks ago or so. Great. I didn't watch the whole 5 hours. I'm like, come on, 5 hours. I'm sorry to hear that, or I'm glad that happened, but I'm not watching 5 hours. But the Brian Armstrong, when I saw the clips, and there was one I wanted to bring up about what he said about Elizabeth Warren. It's really good. And he pretty much says that Elizabeth Warren is just worked for the bankers, and she was one of the main responsible for Operation Choke Point 2.0, and that she's a socialist, essentially. It was pretty good. That's his thoughts. I don't know if everybody likes Elizabeth Warren here, but I'm not a big fan of her. That's right, Mohammed. Sweet. Sweet's looking good. Warren is owned by the big banks. You know, it's a weird thing. I remember coming in as a senator. It was a long time ago. And it was like, she was kind of like for the everyman type of person. And then all of a sudden, she's just buddy with Jamie Dimon. I'm like, I don't know what's happening. I don't get it. Do you endorse staking? Yes. Why not? It's essentially free money. Things that I don't endorse is when you have like massive staking rewards. Like I was transferring some crypto from one TANGEM wallet to another TANGEM wallet. And I had to unstake my Solana. And then it takes 3 days for like a cooldown period, which I think is stupid. But I mean, Cardano doesn't do that. I'm just saying. Anyhow, so wait my 3 days, then I transferred it over, and I restaked it. It's pretty high. It's like it's between 5.8% and 6.4 something percent. I'm like, that's pretty good. So I got that one, and then Tron, which was only like 2.8%. I'm like, yeah, all right. And then I had BNB or Binance Chain. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that they offered staking. And I had BNB on my TANGEM wallet, and I go to stake it, and it was like between 0.28 and 0.47. I was like, what? I was like, well, that's good. It's not inflationary as much as I would say for the other ones. But I mean, come on, I'm not staking that for that. It's ridiculous. So that was pretty much it. So it was amazing. Like I was like, Solana's pretty high. I mean, not as high as like say Luna back in the day of 20% or something crazy like that. But yeah, I endorse staking, and I think it's great. I do it through my cold storage devices, TANGEM, Ledger. Have no problems. IV. This is true. Tarot cards are the most accurate price predictor. Doesn't stop people from doing those videos, though. Zach Galifianakis would be a great SPF. Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, that would be good. Does the Dan stake pool operator endorse staking? Staking with us, yeah. So we have our own stake pool. I always forget to mention this. Thank you, golfer. If you're looking to stake your Cardano, we have our stake pool D-News. We don't know how that works. There's a link in the description. I walk you all the way through it. And that actually would help everybody if you could delegate to us. We are a small pool. We have 2 pools, but they're not even near saturated. Like zero. It's like 25% of one and 29% of the other. It's not even a full one. Nah. Oh, who's going to play SPF and who will play BitBoy? See what happens, people, when you get greedy. Make them both as good lessons not to fall in their paths. Yeah, I feel bad for BitBoy's the kids and the wife. That sucks. Well, how do you get midnight airdrop from the cold wallets? Essentially, you're going to have to. And we talked about this yesterday with Jerry, and actually, we did a video with Peyton. If you just do a search for Digital Asset News Midnight Pay or Peyton, it'll come up and we go over what it's going to take. It's not the specifics, but essentially what it is the wallet that you have that's cold or hot or whatever else, wherever you have your Cardano or your Bitcoin or your Ethereum, XRP, and some other ones. I forgot which, all of them. But you'll have to connect those wallets to the Midnight website to claim your crypto. I personally am not doing that. I just don't care enough about Midnight to say, yeah, I'd like to take my wallet and connect it to some random website. I think it's the right one, but maybe it's not. But I'll connect this wallet to it and do it. I'm not doing that. Yeah. It's never a good idea to lock up staking on exchanges. Yeah. Exactly. When you're doing the exchange thing, exchanges, who was it? Andreas Antonopoulos said, exchanges are like gas station bathrooms. You get in, do your business, and get out as fast as possible. Trying to touch too much, get out of there. And that's pretty much, he was correct. Is Midnight Connection, what the hell? These guys are way too old to play SPF. That's true. You definitely need a young, chubby guy. Is Midnight Connections at risk? I mean, some people say, it's not a big deal. You just take whatever wallet that is and move all your crypto off and then connect it and then get all that Midnight downloaded. And then you can do whatever you want with the Midnight, and then keep it on some other wallet. You can do that. I'm just not doing it. Every connection is a potential risk. It's very true. And then who knows how long it is? Because like some people say, well, I have the official website, and you probably will, but there's going to be some people that just don't get it. The reason why I said I want to do it is because I don't want to cover it, and I don't want to talk about it, because if I talk about it, then some moron is going to go to the wrong website and lose his life savings because some people aren't careful. So I'm just going to say I'm not going to do it. You can go blame somebody else and find somebody else. Yeah. Krantz said, I've staked for years in Kraken, never had an issue. Good job, Krantz. It just depends. I'm just trying to, it's the same thing with like, you know, people said, I had my crypto on exchanges the whole time. I don't know why did, I have no problems. I had it on Coinbase, it was easy. Some people make mistakes. They keep it on FTX or Celsius or Voyager. And there we are. Some people do crazy things with their computers or their hot wallets or their cold wallets. Some people like to connect to random goofy ass websites. Some people are very trusting of people. I don't like anybody. And that's it. Joaquin Phoenix is also too old. Did Joaquin gain that much weight? Maybe so. Yeah. IB Fishing, Trading View, and Chat GPT. That was a great video. Yeah, it was a good, I like that one. Sad things that happen. Aussie says, Aussie banks still want nothing to do with stable coins, archaic leaders. That's okay. My bank in Puerto Rico, they won't, well, my old bank, they didn't let me do anything with crypto or digital assets. They actually called me in and said, we noticed that you're doing a lot of transactions to Coinbase. This is when I actually use Coinbase. And I was like, yeah, what's the problem? So yeah, no crypto whatsoever. It's on our guidelines. I'm like, no, it's not. Yeah, it's right here. And I go, you must have added that after I signed up, because I asked that specifically in 2020 and that wasn't there. Like, well, it is now. So get lost, gringo, or do what we say. It's like, well, gotta go. Master Blaster, is Tron the best stablecoin play? I mean, everything's kind of built on Ethereum. And gosh, if you take a look at all those treasuries that are out there, Fundstrat, CEO, and Bitmine, they've got billions of dollars in Ethereum. I think it's only going to go up. So I think Ethereum will probably be a safer play. And then Tron, who knows? I'm not for sure. And then you've got the other ones. You got BNB, and you've got Solana, and you've got Arbitrum, and some other layer 2 stuff. So maybe. Again, watch the video on Saturday. We took a look at the top 4. If you look at DeFi Llama and Visa Chain on Analytics, you'll see which ones are winning, which ones are losing. Robbie looked at ENA for stablecoins. I have not. Did I miss everything? Pretty much all I said is it's a really bullish day. I don't like doing these videos, but everybody's very happy. So Bailey, you didn't miss much. Looks like the CFTC and the SEC are going to work together, and we're going to have a bunch of IPOs from crypto companies. And this is a good point. William says it right. ETFs are good if you don't want to deal with wallets. And William is 100% correct. I agree. PR Curtis says, can you use your US-based banks for transfers and just transfer from your Puerto Rican bank? You can. You can take it from your Puerto Rican bank, transfer it to your US bank, and then you can use the US bank and buy everything. Unfortunately, you know, I'd like to keep a lot of the things that I do in the Puerto Rican, because I'm closer connection test. If you don't know what that is, just watch the video on why I moved to Puerto Rico. Yeah, very true. Rob gave me 0.1 Bitcoin 20 minutes ago. That is a fat-based lie. Rob gave away 2 Bitcoin. Oh, you missed it. That part is true, because if you're going to go big, you got to go big, right? So I was giving away 2 Bitcoins. So sorry if you guys missed it. If there's a 10,000 likes, I'll give one more Bitcoin away for the next lucky winner. I'm just kidding. Only early viewers got free crypto. I think that's it. Mohammed, this is the first time in a year, 2 weeks of not selling covered calls on MicroStrategy. No TM under 2.5. NAV is going to set in. Oof. Well, I mean, Jupiter, I'm going to guess you've done pretty well on those trades. So will crypto become FDIC insured at some point? I think it has to. And I think when that happens, I think more people will be a lot more comfortable in doing that. Myself included, actually. I think every day things are I'm going to lose everything. Anyhow. And that's it, everybody. So that's 30 minutes, and I think we're good for this one. So look, like today's video, thumbs up, subscribe. I have to tell you, lately the market's been a little bit shaky, but I mean, if you still look at the 4-year cycle, I know some people say it's dead, and we're going to go into, elongated cycles or a super cycle, whatever. I don't know if that's going to happen, but everything seems to be shifting towards the end of the year. Have you noticed? Like the jobs report, if the jobs report would have came at the day that Jerome Powell made the announcement for him keeping rates the same way, if he would have gotten the right jobs report, not the revised jobs report, we would have already had basis cut of 25 basis points or 50 basis points. We would have got those cut already. Now that he didn't and he missed it, we're looking at September 17th. It's pretty good. Then for the Clarity Act that is supposed to be debated in the Senate and should hit, I thought it was going to be the end of September, or excuse me, the end of August. But it looks like that bill, they said more realistically, will probably hit President Trump's desk in October. And when that goes through, it gives us all the clarity, and then we move in that direction. And then we hear about these IPOs and the SEC and the CFTC working together. And it just seems like we're kind of running to the end. And October, November, December, historically speaking, are, especially in 1 year post-halving, they're pretty big months. And it seems like everything's being pushed to that end. And I think that this is the sprint. And that's why my bank account is anemic and crypto's doing great. Anyhow, that's it. Thanks so much, everybody. And I'll see you in the next one. Adios.